Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. Crypto Seth here posting this. You are about to enter a short period of time when stupidity is being rewarded. That's right, guys, when dumb money can finally outperform smart money. But also a time when the brave are being rewarded, the risk takers. The people who are the smartest and can identify the best PvE altcoins with the highest volatility will be rewarded. The game will begin soon. Don't fumble this. Don't go full degen with leverage and F yourself from the win. This is not financial advice, by the way. This is just the opinion of Crypto Seth here. So what he is essentially saying, guys, is that we are getting very, very close to that euphoric phase in the crypto space. It happened in 2017, which looks very dwarfed compared to what happened in 2021. But guys, these trends always tend to get higher and higher, bigger and bigger, because more liquidity, as they say, aka dumb money, is going to be entering the market while smart money exits the market. So we've got fear and greed, guys. It's back down a little bit to 66. We are still technically in greed, though. At the moment, market cap is at 3.3 trillion, so that's up in the last 24 hours, and so is the CMC 100. That's also up by just shy of 1 percentage point. In the last 24 hours, Bitcoin is in the green. We've got Ethereum in the green. XRP is actually up by just over 1.5%. BNB coin is up by 0.6. Solana is up by almost 2%, 1.9. And as we're seeing the Bitcoin trend moving up, this is looking very, very promising. As you guys can see, I've got the Bitcoin chart up here on the daily, and we are forming on the daily time frame what is looking like a bullish pennant pattern. So we're also getting up very, very close to former all-time high. If we do put a horizontal line there, you guys can see all-time high. We're only about 5% away from all-time high. So very good news, guys, for Bitcoin. Altcoins will follow. Altcoins will follow. Of course, this is a far cry from where we were back at the beginning of April when we were down 30%, over 30% from all-time high. So we have made our way back up, or rather Bitcoin has made its way back up. Cryptocurrencies like XRP are going to follow slowly but surely. The XRP trend still looking very, very healthy. We are still forming these higher lows, right? We're still forming higher highs on the chart. And, that euphoric burst is really going to help cryptocurrencies, altcoins, essentially move up once Bitcoin does reach that all-time high and continue to soar. And for more information on what I'm doing for this particular bull run, you can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. Think of it this way. Timothy Peterson posting this. New Bitcoin all-time high is imminent. Bitcoin has pulled to within 10% of its all-time high. As you guys did see, it is actually only down 5%. So what happens next? This has happened nearly 300 times since 2015. Within 50 days, Bitcoin made new all-time highs 98% of the time. So the median gain was about 17%. The average gain was about 43%. However, post-beer flu gains have been much smaller, and I don't think that is necessarily because of the beer flu. I think because we have witnessed diminishing returns on Bitcoin, even just throughout its several cycles. We have seen that occur as time goes on. So he's saying here around 8%. This reasonably puts Bitcoin around 115,000 to 125,000 per coin. And again, guys, at patreon.com, I'm going to be giving you my exact targets for Bitcoin, where I think the market trend is going to top, where I think XRP is going to top eventually, and the time frame, guys. The time frame, this is what everybody's excited for. So again, patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. If you're interested in seeing where I think the market's going to go next. So we are getting very close. And, Raul Pal has been saying this for over a year now. I've been trying to tell you to watch for the end of May into June and July, this courtesy of Mr. Mann. And what he's saying here is he's essentially echoing what Raul Pal said on Rect Vision. Mr. Mann, though, taking it a step further, the imagery from Trump Jr. with the dam breaking. Did you guys see this from a few days ago? This is from a few days ago now. Donald Trump Jr. did originally post this back in 2024. Get ready. Here we go. May 31st. And then the dam breaks. So I'm not going to go over this entire thing, but what he is essentially saying is that stock market's going to go up. Crypto's going to go up. You better not FAFO. I think you guys probably know what that means, and see what happens. I'd recommend having your exit strategy and learn how to mitigate taxes. I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice, but this is what Raul Pal is ultimately saying too. Listen to this.
If this continues to play out, it's just banana zone from now until July. And then we've had, if we've got to think 3 months in advance. So what we've had is the dollar correcting the last couple of weeks, rates correcting. So we should see the market correct in August.
Yeah.
And maybe it's as simple as that. And that would be very consistent with previous cycles as well.
Raoul Pal is looking at the immediate time frame here, May, June, July, market correcting in August. A possibility. Again, we're just going to have to wait and see. And, really, it's going to be about how Bitcoin does perform first and then how the market does react to that. So wanted to thank Mr. Mann, of course, Timothy Peterson, and Crypto's, Crypto Seth here for posting that. XRP Crypto Wolf also noticing this. Okay, XRP open interest has topped $4.7 billion as rebound optimism returns to the market. So there's open interest. According to CoinGlass data, guys, XRP has seen notable activity in the last 24 hours that signals distress for the altcoin. The asset's open interest has suffered, but guys, that has actually turned around. This was actually published when XRP was correcting a little bit. There's also the futures contracts that are going to be released tomorrow by the CME group, so that could in fact have something to do with this. Notably, XRP's recorded $4.78 billion in open interest as investors committed $2.03 billion XRP to the asset's futures contract, or futures contracts rather. Although this volume is significant, the over 6% drop suggests a massive loss in confidence by XRP investors. I don't think the chart is suggesting that, to be honest. For context though, open interest refers to the total number of active futures contracts that have not been settled yet. A notable drop is in this metric signals the asset could be in distress. So giving us, I guess, the textbook definition of that. This concern, though, is reflected in the coin's current price outlook. As of the time of this writing, XRP was changing hands, like I said, at $2.33. But guys, now XRP is actually up higher than that, closer to $2.40. It's actually at $2.39 at the moment. And so again, when in doubt, zoom out. I think this article here is looking at the micro picture, whereas us XRP holders, we always look at the macro trend because we are hodling for the long term. So in terms of the micro trend, this is what was happening yesterday. This is already turned around. It's all right, though. Got to keep tabs on everything. I wanted to thank XRP Crypto Wolf for posting that. There is no doubt that this is going to be a new generation or the next generation of finance, as Raoul Pal puts it. This courtesy of Riz. Another clip here of Raoul Pal just explaining how big this market is going to get.
There's signal. Let's do the macro backdrop. We're in a $3 trillion industry right now, crypto. If I extrapolate trend rates of growth, it goes to 100 trillion within 10 years. That would be 97 trillion of wealth created. So let's assume Raoul is a total moron, discount me by 50%. $47 trillion of wealth will get generated. That's more wealth than got generated from the opening of Russia, China, all of the hedge fund billionaires, and all of the Silicon Valley billionaires combined. So, and it accrues to different people. The average man, the Uber driver, the OGs, there's a whole bunch of people in this space who are going to... The podcasters, you, the macro strategists, all of these people.
So I'm making a bit of a joke there at the end, but guys, you can see how big this market's going to get. Again, market cap is only at $3.3 trillion. And if we just take a look, total market cap, this is projected to grow very, very high in a relatively short period of time. I'm just going to take the former high here. Again, this is the total market cap. So crypto, all of crypto, including Bitcoin and Ethereum. And, even if we just take the full fib, projected in the relatively near future, I guess, 10 trillion. But guys, projected over 10 years, Raoul Pal is saying 100 trillion, so 10x what the number could be in the immediate future. And I mean, this whole concept, this whole theory here is supported by what's going on in the space. Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson is launching a VC-free token distribution across 8 blockchains, including the XRP ledger. So these guys are actively looking for ways to help grow the space in a I guess, a semi-organic way. Michael Branch posted this. This is what Charles Hoskinson is looking to do. Okay, he's looking to launch a VC-free token distribution across 8 blockchains, including the XRP ledger, at Consensus 2025 in Toronto. Hoskinson reiterated the groundbreaking airdrop dubbed the Glacier drop as part of the rollout for Midnight, Cardano's upcoming privacy-focused sidechain. The airdrop will target 37 million addresses across 8 major blockchains, including holders holders of XRP, Bitcoin, and Cardano itself. The Glacier drop will distribute 2 native Midnight tokens, so the Night token, a governance token, and Dust for private transactions. And he's stating here there's going to be no venture capital involved, okay? No insiders. It's only going to be for retail users. Departing from traditional token launches, Hoskinson confirmed that no venture capitalists or early insiders will receive Midnight tokens. He called attention to the airdrop simplicity and fairness during the event. Specifically, the system will allocate the airdrops for retail users. Hoskinson described the move as a principled stand against what he called VC Ponzi dynamics in crypto. Notably, token recipients will be free to trade, keep, or discard the asset, aiming to end crypto tribalism. Okay, Midnight's Glacier drop spans 8 networks. So the Cardano network, Ethereum, Solana, Avalanche, the XRP Ledger, Bitcoin, BNB chain, and BAT, Basic Attention Token. Hoskinson hopes to move beyond the tribalism, which has been I don't want to say threatening, but has been a bit of a, I don't know. The tribalism is ridiculous. I get that there are communities that really love their coins, but you know, at the end of the day, we've been in the know, guys, for a very long time. We've heard a lot of different heads from crypto companies say, you know, all boats will rise if cryptocurrency just generally as a whole can get some positive legislation, and this is why people started rallying behind Ripple during the SEC lawsuit, for example. But anyway, Charles is saying, you know, this could also help end the tribalism. He says every consensus there is a new token shouting, "My thing is better than yours," he remarked, calling for a change from competitive to cooperative economics. And this is why Charles Hoskinson is looking to cooperate with other projects. Other industry leaders such as Brad Garlinghouse and attorney John Deaton are also advocating for collaborative efforts over the typical rivalry that has plagued the crypto ecosystem. We know Brad's stance on that. Meanwhile, Hoskinson views the upcoming Glacier drop along with Midnight's unique approach to privacy and collaboration as important for onboarding the next wave of crypto users, especially as big tech enters the space. So that's the other thing, right? You know, considering we do know that cryptocurrency is going to get this big, if it does reach 100 trillion, we have to have a way to be able to keep it controlled or keep it and I don't mean we as in us retail holders, but, you know, the industry really does have to, they have to pull their socks up at this point. You know, cryptocurrency has been so wild. It's just been the Wild West for so long. And now at this point in time, the big players are realizing, okay, let's lock in. Let's make sure that we have our ducks in a row. Let's be careful with how we roll these things out, because we don't want, we have to still uphold a certain image, you know, especially to the powers that be and to the, you know, the gatekeepers, I guess, of certain industry, whether it's the banking industry or whatever industry it is. I mean, cryptocurrency and blockchain DLT solutions, it's going to change so many different industries. And so, there's this idea, crypto people are interesting, I gotta say, and I don't mean us retail. Well, we're an interesting bunch as well as retail holders, but I'm talking more about the people who work in the space. It's kind of like, Silicon Valley 2.0. Anyway, I guess I could go on about that for hours, but I'm not going to. But I wanted to thank Michael for posting that, because it is, another good indication that we are moving in the right direction. Another one here from Michael Branch, guys. Major exchange excites XRP community with a cryptic Ripple post. This is coming from the exchange BitMEX. So check this out. BitMEX, one of the leading cryptocurrency exchanges, has caused significant buzz within the XRP community with a cryptic post teasing a Ripple-linked announcement. The exchange has stated that its announcement will have a ripple effect on the market, tagging the San Francisco-based blockchain firm. It is worth noting that that the post comes just days before the SME launch. So, guys, could it have to do with the futures being launched on May the 19th? Again, if you guys are watching this video on the day that I'm releasing it, that is tomorrow. If you guys remember back to February of 2020, they did launch perpetual swaps of the XRP token. BitMEX is, of course, known as one of the most prominent derivatives exchanges as well. So maybe we'll get an XRP derivatives product. Who knows? It also launched a spot exchange back in May 2022. Some commentators believe that the announcement could be related to the Ripple USD, so the RLUSD, the red hot stablecoin that launched in late 2024. So what could it be, guys? Are we going to see, another XRP product? Is it going to, is something going to occur With the RLUSD, there's so much in terms of possibility. The probability, though, I mean, at least if we look at a general perspective here, is that XRP and the RLUSD, whatever it is, I mean, everything is going to affect how we move forward. I know there have been external influences that have been putting pressure on, the U.S., for example. And I mean, Donald Trump is out there doing his thing. We understand that the banking system cannot continue as it is, and so here we are today in 2025, Vandel posting this: the Fed will print aggressively. Anyone suggesting otherwise doesn't fully understand the situation. So a bond market collapse isn't something the Fed will allow yet. So this is Vandel's prediction. They're artificially holding the system together, a form of quantitative easing. The next massive stimulus is coming, but this won't last forever. I strongly urge you to position yourself wisely in digital assets and gold. And so he just posted this headline here that was just released. The U.S. Federal Reserve just pulled off something stealthy over 4 days last week. Without fanfare, the Fed vacuumed up $43.6 billion in U.S. Treasuries. That's $8.8 billion in long-dated 30-year bonds on May the 8th alone, plus another $34.8 billion earlier this week. Not exactly small change. So they're quietly returning to the quantitative easing trough, and it isn't standard Fed housekeeping. It's like a bank robber returning to the scene because he forgot his car keys. So I'm not going to read this full thing, but I will link it in the description of the video for you. This spells trouble, and we're seeing the world stage also adjust too. The World Bank, for example, released a blog post discussing crypto assets as central bank reserves in September of 2024. So this has been going on for years, really. Their conclusion was that it's too early, but they provided all required changes and improvements needed for crypto assets to be added to central bank reserves. So the central bank, or rather the World Bank, has already outlined how these assets can be added to reserves because they realize that, we probably will have to shift gears in the coming months. The required improvements include improved liquidity, stronger custody and safekeeping solutions, lower volatility, adopted in trade and financial flows, availability of investable returns, and clear regulations. Anders here goes on to say they don't rule out central banks holding crypto assets in the future, only that it will take some time. But if we look at the required changes, we can observe that it's certain utility cryptos that are best positioned for this. So, saying it without really saying it outright. This is because pretty much all crypto assets can satisfy all of these points in theory, but only a few are clearly positioned towards adoption and trade and financial flows. And here's what I'm thinking with regards to the integration with the traditional financial system, not positioned for a parallel system outside regulations and traditional financial firms. As an example, he's thinking XRP, Quant, XDC, and XLM, to name a few. All of these are positioned to move value around the world amongst regulated financial entities. So the key there, regulated financial entities, whether it's cross-border trade finance between financial instruments, etc. As stated, he says the composition of trade and financial flows largely determines the currency composition of foreign reserves in most countries. These cross-border payments remain largely denominated and executed in fiat currencies, especially the US dollar. So there are mechanisms to perform this trade. And more, as the years go on, we are seeing more and more of these cryptocurrencies becoming more and more robust, more secure, regulated in more and more countries. And so, when we're facing US dollar dominance issues as well, these US-made cryptocurrencies, it would behoove the US government to make sure that those are the ones that are prominent in transferring value. That does also benefit the United States to a degree. We need this too because the BRICS stablecoin is apparently coming out. This is Mike Novogratz's prediction, even though he doesn't say it's his prediction. It's his prediction for all intents and purposes within the next 12 months, and it's going to be partially backed by gold. Listen to this.
I'm not going to call it prediction. I'm just going to a little Nostradamus that there's a BRICS stablecoin that comes out in the next 12 months that is backed by gold, not fully, but partially. Because I know they're doing a BRICS currency and they're going to want to have their stablecoin, and what better message that this has got gold in it. And so I don't think the gold phenomena is going away.
It's certainly not. Central banks around the world have been hoarding gold for the last little while now. This is why banks like the Banque de France is building a DLT-based shared ledger that can exchange CBDCs and all kinds of different tokenized assets, guys. Everything is going to be tokenized on the ledger. I don't know if you guys remember, but so this was a recent clip here, courtesy of Subjective Views. But back in 2021, I don't know if you guys remember this, the Banque de France likely to prefer XRP over Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this is what happened back 4 years ago. Banque de France, the Central Bank of France, has reportedly discussed XRP and Ripple for the launch of the central bank digital currency. The central bank is planning to prefer XRP over Bitcoin and Ethereum, according to a report published by the CPA Australia. Now, I remember it was King Solomon who originally broke this news. When you do go to the report, unfortunately, the website is no longer available. So we cannot get a link to that anymore. But it's okay. We know the history. I've even done a video on that. I'll see if I can find it. I did it back then. I'll see if I can find it, and I'll link it up here in the top right-hand corner if I can. But here, guys, they're talking about it now in 2025. This unified ledger is coming, and it's coming quickly. Listen to this.
It will be a bit quicker on the wholesale part because we will have a pilot solution available for private players from early next year. This is what we call sometimes track 0.5 or track 1. Our final aim, which we call track 2, here I will not yet give a date, but it's a question of years, would be to build at the European level what we call a shared ledger. What is the idea of a shared ledger? Is to have a platform where you can exchange central bank digital currency, tokenized assets, including tokenized securities, and this is very interesting in many experimentations we have run, and perhaps tokenized deposits. This was a utopia put forward by the BIS in June 23. We are probably the continent which will make this utopia for real. Perhaps to complement, everybody agrees that central bank currency is the safest settlement asset for financial transactions, without any doubt. So nobody contests the role of central bank currency. But what we will bring is to have central bank currency in tokenized form. And we will use a DLT technology. By the way, in the Banque de France, this is the part of the technology we will bring to the common solution as early as next year. We have a DLT homemade called DL3S, and this is a very promising solution.
So guys, they're saying as early as next year, so 2026. The timeline is speeding up. We're also seeing this in the US. Will decentralized technology be part of the US Treasury, centralized clearing of U.S. Treasuries? This courtesy of Matthew Liny. Instant settlement and liquidity, elimination of counterparty credit risk. We've got the mandate to central clearing for the Treasury market and how this represents a significant shift aimed at eliminating counterparty credit risk and enhancing financial stability. This implementation deadline is set for December of 2026. So could it be that 2026 is when everything will be said and done and we will see true market appreciation, true price discovery for cryptocurrencies like XRP? How quickly will that occur though? And will it be a gradual climb, guys, starting in 2025? Again, for more information on where I think this market's going to go and how I see real world utility rolling out as I do see it. I mean, at this point in time, we're not really seeing it yet, but it could happen. Boom, just like that. Follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel for more information on that. I'm going to be treating this cryptocurrency bull run as a spec run until it is not. So follow me for up-to-date details on that. I'm updating my Patreon subscribers in real time as that does occur, if it does occur. And if you guys are interested in supporting the channel in a different way, you can navigate over to the Working Money Channel merch store. I've got a slew of merchandise here. Going to be creating some more, but I think we got some pretty cool items here. Again, link is in the description of the video, but that's just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.